What's up, YouTube? And before we get started, no, I ain't mad at you. I know I ain't mad at you. I don't need you to tell me I ain't mad at you. Leave me alone. I'm from the wild. I can do whatever I want to do. Now, get down to business here. All right. Oh, y'all almost. Oh my. Anyway, we're here today um, to talk about the baby and Rolling Loud. Um, I don't know if you guys heard about this or whatever, but there is a concert, I guess, called the Rolling Loud. I don't know if y'all been keeping up. That's why Cooper's Closet is here to keep you up. There is that purple banging though, ain't it? This purple too. This purple too. But anyway, there's a concert called the Rolling Loud, and apparently it's a big event that has slipped past me, and I thought I knew everything, but apparently I don't. That purple banging. Lord have mercy. But there's a big event called the Rolling Loud, and apparently this is where famous people go and they put on concerts and they put on shows or whatever. And this topic today is about the Rolling Loud concerning Baby. Now, before I get started, let me say I love Baby. I love the Baby. He got a song so nasty and just disrespectful. When I get off of here, I'm going to listen to it, and I was listening to it before I came on here. That's why I'm hyped up, because it's so nasty and disrespectful, y'all. But okay, let's get back to the. I was thinking about that song, some of the lyrics. But anyway, let's get back to the issue at hand. So I don't know if you all know, if you've been following, but the Baby right now is under fire um, for his presence at the Rolling Loud. So, to be exact, what happened was, I don't know why, he was at a concert and he had a lot of fans out there. A lot of people came out there to see the Baby. And out of nowhere, in his mind, he was going to say something about gay people, queer people, people that's different from him. He started rattling off about people, and the comments weren't very nice. Some of the comments he made, he told people to put their lighters up if they didn't have HIV. He told people to put their lighters up if they weren't sucking cucumbers out in the parking lot, or zucchinis, or eggplants. Y'all, I'm trying to stop cussing. I'm trying to get more sophisticated with my words every now and then. Something will come up and I get loose. But that's what happened. He told people if they were out, raise their lighters if they weren't out in the parking lot sucking on zucchinis and cucumbers and eggplants. Yeah, purple kisses. So this ignited a whole different fire, because apparently there were some people of that walk of life that was out there, and basically he turned some people off. So I've been following, the news about this or whatever, and Ti stepped up to speak about it, and people want to know where was Ti coming from with all these allegations that he had going on against him right now. He needs to shut up and mind his own business. I'm a Ti fan too, so I ain't have much to say about that. I'm a R. Kelly fan. I sure ain't got nothing to say about that. So it's just a lot of stuff going on to where, he feels this certain type of way. And I've been doing a lot of research, and there's a lot of gay people saying that maybe he is that way because, why would he say that? I don't know. I guess the deal is what brings me here today is because now he's offended a lot of people to the point where, like, some very very people that is has been very inspirational and has influence on the music industry and the music culture even since I was a kid. Like Madonna, Elton John. Different people are starting to step up, and they feel disrespected. So, I guess here at Cougar's Closet, I guess here with us, I guess my thing is, what I would like to know is, it's 2021. So I can't really understand why people are not accepting people that are different. People that are unique in their own way, whether you consider it good or bad. If we want to look at it from a sin perspective, then the sin is a sin. If you write dirty checks, you can't talk about me being over here with Miss Jones, because the sin is the sin. That's what the Bible says. Anyway, so I guess my thing is, it's 2021, and I guess I'm confused about why we are having such a hard time dissecting people that's being comfortable with themselves, or people that's wanting to come out and be free, uh, from this world, from this society. Who runs this world? Who runs this society? Like, I'm a rebel, so like I never knew who ran nothing, because I always did what I wanted to do, you know. But anywho, I just don't understand, like, why we still live in a society even up until today where people have to be ashamed of who they are, and what they like, or their choice of poison, I guess, so to speak. And if I can shed some light on this, I will. Um, I have friends from all walks of life, and they're. I have some friends here. I have friends in Cincinnati. I have friends in Atlanta. I have friends in Nashville. I have friends in California. I have friends in Las Vegas that are straight, bisexual, lesbian, gay, pansexual, transsexual. And if there's something else going on, I might have that too. So I'm gonna stick my finger up to that. But I don't understand why. I guess why I'm scratching my head is, if you are a man that's confident in your body, why does any of these things bother you? Gayness, it's not a disease. Um, it can cause diseases if we're not careful. But it's not a disease that rubs up off of you on you to where, like, you were straight one minute, then somebody accidentally rubbed on you and now you're gay. It's not like that. So I'm confused about why we are so upset about people being themselves, I guess. And I like I said, out of all the friends that I named that I have, you know, um, they have brothers. They are gay or bisexual. They have brothers that are totally straight. But this doesn't take away the love that the straight brother feels for the bisexual or the gay brother or the lesbian sister or the lesbian niece. It doesn't take away from any of this. People just like what they like, and some people are comfortable with that, and others aren't, and some are fighting their sexuality about that. So sometimes, in the midst of them fighting, trying to figure it out, they might lash at somebody, where it comes out in a way that it shouldn't. Um, I can tell you now. out of all my friends of different walks of life that I've been around, they set up an atmosphere that's so beautiful and that's so magnetic and that's so charming and that's so eccentric, and you just you can't deny it, you know. Even if you're a person that's in the business trying to figure out, even if you a person that's straight and don't play that crap, they set up an atmosphere that you can't help but to have a good time. And I guess I'm just confused about why do we have to dive so deep into what somebody else likes instead of loving somebody? See, because that's where all the confusion comes in when we not loving somebody, when we too busy, prosecuting somebody or convicting somebody just because of what they like or choices of what they were born with. I don't know anybody personally, but I've heard stories of people that knew other people or read stories about people committing suicide because they were gay and they were bisexual and they didn't want to be like that. They knew that wasn't right. But see, that's what society throws on you. That's what the Bible throws on you. And I believe in God to the fullest. God, I believe in you. But from what I'm starting to understand later on as the world go by is that the Bible wasn't even written um, by God. The Bible was written over and over and over and over again and distorted and diluted by man. And, a part of me wants to believe that, and a part of me fights so hard not to believe that because I am a strong lover of God. But then, when I look in the Bible and I see black kids being left out or black culture being left out or, different aspects being left out, then I do that's what kind of get the fire flame in my head because God wouldn't leave none of his creation out. So that's what put the question mark on top of my head. Um, and make me curious and want to dig a little bit further about if the Bible was really written for man. You know, I just want to touch on this because uh, this is a sensitive subject. This is a serious subject. People are being bullied about being who they are. No one should be bullied about how they were born. And some people would disagree with me. Ain't nobody born like that. Ain't nobody born like that. People are born like that. Ain't nobody just woke up and decided they was going over here and meddle with some things that they know that's considered disgusting just to be walking over there messing with it. So, I guess I'm kind of confused here. But 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 my thing is now too. So we in a different bracket because now as the further and further I follow this story, the deeper and deeper the baby is becoming in trouble or getting under fire because now um, they are starting to take away concerts from him. He some deals and negotiations and contracts. They are starting to take away from him because of what came out of his mouth. Um, I don't know what triggered him to say that. Um, I can't get in his mind to find out. I've been doing a lot of research, reading in behind other YouTubers, some male YouTubers that I look up to, like Walter Lee Hampton. I love Walter Lee Hampton. He is amazing. And he's a gay guy that you wouldn't even think is gay. He's muscular. He's on YouTube. Walter Lee Hampton, he is dope. But he said that the baby was gay because he wouldn't be making these comments. And he talked about some personal experiences that he had about people bullying him and attacking him, and then later on the same people that bullied and attacked him and tore his self-esteem down was the same people that circle around. Hey, babe, how you doing? Ain't nobody around now. Can we go kick it? You know, so I won't really elaborate on that. Um, I've had some personal experiences myself where it sounded something about what he was talking about, but I don't know. I don't personally know the baby. I like his music. I don't know anything about him, so I'm not gonna go that far. But I just wonder what y'all think about this. Like, should it come to the point where this, this music that he does is his livelihood. This is his job. This is his job. So should he be convicted all the way to the point for speaking his mind about how he feels about queers or gay people or anybody that's considered unnorm? Or should it be a slap on the wrist? Should he be careful about what he say? Because my take on it is I'm pretty sure that he did have a lot of people from the community, the LGBT community that represents him. And a lot of people don't know this. A lot of famous rappers that you see, they were pushed out by the LGBT community, whether they want to admit it or not. That's who really has the money to push you out. If they are a diehard fan to you, they are good to you. While other people is trying to figure out a way to bootleg your stuff, no, they trying to figure out a way to get you the credit. So I'm just trying to figure out now, should he be condemned? And they got this thing called cancer culture, and I haven't looked into that much, but just off the top of the head, I'm assuming that that's us. If somebody of the music world or entertainment world, does something to make the rest of the world uncomfortable, then they have to pay for that. And maybe that means, stripping endorsements away. That means maybe getting rid of you altogether. That means, canceling concerts. That means all kind of things. And from what I'm understanding, he's up under that type of fire. And I pretty much can see that if Elton John is speaking and Madonna is speaking, these are people that's been supporting these things back in the 80s when these things weren't acceptable. You know, in the 80s and 90s, we had a lot of people that were gay then, but the thing was, they were in the background, they were hidden, they were in the closet. It was a shame, it was a sin, and people wasn't ready to walk that line of fire. People didn't want to be outed like that because not only were you a disgrace amongst the world, you were a disgrace amongst your community, you were a disgrace amongst your family. You were considered to have a chemical imbalance about you, a chemical you know, engineer about you, like you were some type of animal. And some people, mothers and fathers, did throw them out because they were gay or they were bisexual. You know, they were ashamed of them. To this day, I don't understand how you are ashamed of anything that you have carried or anything that you have read, and they come to you and tell you that they have different desires to the point where you disown them. I've never understood that. But then you have people that are highly respected. They want to be looked at perfect. They want everybody to look at them like they Mr. and Mrs. Prissy, and act like these things don't happen. They rather hear about it happening to somebody else. Oh, that's a shame. You know, but these things go on in my life. They go on in your life. They go on in your neighbor's life. They go on in your friend's life. Whoever's life. You know, I can admittedly say myself, when I was born, some wires was crossed. You know, I have to be real. When I was born, some wires was crossed. But at the same time, I'm not going to reject myself because some wires was crossed. Why do I have to go commit suicide because some things are going on in my body that I don't understand? Why do I have to not accept myself because of some things that I know I came here feeling that was that was awkward and weird, but I guess I'm making a point of how can you accept the good parts of yourself but not accept the bad parts of yourself? That means you're not fully accepting yourself. But to each his own, Um, a lot of people can't walk that type of walk. Some people, like I said, will commit suicide. Um, it's sad. That's all I can think of. It's sad. Um, it disheartens me to know that we're still out here at a time like this, and people, transgenders are being killed. Um, it disheartens me that people can't go out and be themselves. As long as this has always been my thing. As long as people of a different atmosphere are not pushing up on you, not disrespecting you, what do you care about what somebody else has going on? Are you interested? Are you trying to figure out a way to get out there but not really be seen? What dog do you have in the fight? You know, so I guess that's why I'm curious about what's going on here. It just disheartens me that we come this far along, and people are still being mistreated for who they are. You know, I don't know. I'm just kind of like at a loss of words here because I talk to different people all the time, and some people say, and which I can understand this. Some people that some of my straight friends, they say, Makar, I don't have a problem with people being the way they are. They don't bother me. I'm confident about who I am. I'm 100% man. I'm 100% woman. I can be in a room full of them, don't change who I am, and they really mean that. But they say on the flip side of the coin is what I don't like is they forcing it down your throat. You can't even hardly find a TV segment for your kids to watch and step out the room for 5 minutes. They introducing your kids to something. You can't even hardly watch a regular TV show nowadays. It's on. And there are some sitcoms now that's that way. There are some. I've sat myself and watching a child show, cartoon or something, and some weird came swiggling through there, and I'm like, what the hell? So I do understand these things, but that's what's special about me being me. I understand all sides of this thing. You know, um, should things be forced down your throat? No. I think personally myself, if that's the type of entertainment you're in, then why don't the cable TV company or whatever, why don't they have a special segment for this stuff? That way, when people click into this stuff, they know where they landed. They know what they're paying for. They know what they're watching. They're not confused about it. You know, um, Instead of turning on something and sitting there with your kids all day long, and then as soon as you run to the bathroom and come back, you might have missed something and don't even know it. Or then sat down right on time and something wild's gonna begin. So I understand that as well. I've had friends with some of my straight friends that say, Makar, they trying to force this on us. Like, I've been to the mall. Men can't even find regular pants straight up and down. They basically cutting these pants to where you have to get in this mode. I've been to 5 stores in one day, McCall, I can't find no regular pants. All these taper pants, all these skateboarder pants, all these queer pants. I'm just telling y'all about um, the conversations that I've had. And these conversations come from friends out of Atlanta, friends out of Ohio, friends out of Tennessee, friends out of California, Las Vegas, whatever, whatever, whatever. I've had I've had different conversations with different people. But you know, another thing, I really don't care for is, people forget that men are men, regardless of what they like. I don't care if you run up on a man and he got 3 wigs on. A straight wig, a curly wig sitting on top, an asymmetrical cut going this way. People seem to think that they can disrespect men because of the choices they make, that makes them weaker, that makes them watered down. No, 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 no. Regardless of what a man has on, he is still a man. And we have a lot of females that like to run up on these men and challenge these men. You can't do nothing with a man. You wasn't born to do nothing with a man. You don't have the same design as a man. Just like how God created everything. That's why the male lion is the male lion with the mane, with the extra set of muscles in his back. That's why the woman is the woman with the lesser set of muscles in her back with no mane. And it's the same thing about humans. Men are designed specially because they are the man. They have extra sets of muscles in them. They have different types of tissues and different type of organs in them. That's what separates the man from the woman. And I hate getting on here all the time, seeing these stories where these ladies that's of the lesbian descent think they can disrespect a man. And then when they get treated like a man, then they on the ground. I can't believe you just did that. My nose busted wide open. But 5 minutes ago when I watched the video, you was buffered. You was buffered with them. You was chest to chest. See, you got this bone, and you ain't felt no chest. That thing all pushed in. You see what I'm saying? You was saying some real disrespectful things. Just because you're a woman and you're dressed in man's attire, that doesn't make you a man. You can't rumble with him. If a man is a man, regardless of what he likes, regardless of what he does, you ain't gonna whoop him. That's what I want to put out here. That's what we need to know. I'm so tired of seeing these videos where women think they can whoop men. If you whoop a man, baby, it's because he allowed you to. That's it. That's all. Maybe he didn't want to get rough with you. Maybe he let you keep on pushing him because his mom and daddy raised him. You don't hit a woman. But see, some of them are getting tired and they starting to fight back. See, for a long time, I've been watching this for a long time. I got friends, I've been out with them, and I've seen this stuff that I see on TV for a long time. Men have been called fags, called sissies, and they sat there and ate the shit because they was already ashamed of what they was doing. And people, when they finally step out and want to have a good time and just acknowledge who they are, then people want to push them back in. Look at this fag. Because see, they know what he's trying to do. They know what's up. They know he ready to get free, all the way free. He's sick of all of this stigma on him, and he just want to live his life. He ain't even coming out here looking for that type of drama. But then somewhere somebody gonna jump in. Look at this fag. They gonna try to push him back in the closet. That don't even have nothing to do with all the stuff he been fighting in his head. All the stuff he been going through physically when he walking somewhere. They starting to fight back now, y'all. And excuse my French. They landed some ass whoopings. They landed some ass whoopings, baby. You can't even get with them. Y'all, I'll never forget this time. 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 Me and my best friend, I got another. Y'all hear me talk about Miss Hicks because I'm Miss Hicks in Decatur. That's my baby. That's Maurice. He's a very looked up to person around here in Decatur. Well, I also have another best friend in Cincinnati. When I'm in Cincinnati, I'm Mrs. Ball. I'll never forget this time. I don't even know if Mr. Ball remembers this. Me and Mr. Ball, okay, so let me give you a little history. Mr. Ball, he's his way and I'm my way, or whatever, whatever. But when we come together, he's just like Mr. Hicks. We get so sharp. We get so sophisticated. We get so elegant. We look like husband and wife. And when people see us, they are blown away. And we love each other so much. And I'm so intrigued by the atmosphere that they have created. I never stop anybody about who we are. I never confirm, like, no, this is my best friend. Or he never stops anybody, like, this is my best friend. We just embrace the moment. We just love the moment. We look like we together. We came together. We just leave it as is. But one night, we had went to this was when I was living in Cincinnati. We used to always go to Dayton because Dayton ain't no more like, Cincinnati. Dayton 30 minutes, Springfield, Decatur 30 minutes, St. Louis, East St. Louis 30 minutes, Cincinnati, Kentucky 15 or 30 minutes. And we always used to go to this gay club in Dayton. This gay club was popping, y'all. And it had about two or three or four levels to it. It was off the chain. Kind of remind me of the gay club in Chicago, the Generator. It was off the chain. So we would, on the weekend, we would go to this club up in Dayton. I cannot remember the name of that club to save my life. Well, after the club was over, and the club would let out about 4 or 5 in the morning, y'all. It would be, you go on one floor, they had a DJ on that floor doing his thing, that crowd. You go on the second floor, it was another DJ with versatile music doing something else, that crowd. You go to the third floor, it was a DJ reggae, people of different walks on that floor, on that level. The higher levels you went up, it was a different DJ to assess different levels of what was going on. It was a beautiful atmosphere. And I'll never forget it. After the club was over, I don't know if I was with Mr. Ball or if I was with some of my other lesbian girlfriends or bisexual or gay girlfriends. I don't know who I was with. But I never forget. After we left the club, this gay club, there was a place in Dayton called Harold's Chicken. We went to Harold's Chicken to get some chicken. So I don't know if it was me and Mr. Ball or me and the girls. I don't know who it was that night. We stepped up in there just to get a bite to eat. Had a beautiful night. Don't go in there and patronize business. Get some hot chicken before we get on the highway. Get a pop. Sizzle your gut. Just living life. We walked into the restaurant. It was this man in there. And he was just looking around. Now, it's one thing for you to look around and don't open your mouth. But it's another thing for you to open your mouth and say something. Y'all, it's been so long ago. I don't know if he was a white man or a black man. I'm thinking, if I can remember, maybe he was a black man. Nobody saying nothing. Everybody just feeling good about the night they had. A couple of people partnered up, man and man, woman and woman, woman and man. Couple of sets together. They gonna go do some wild stuff later on. Whatever. I'm with whoever I'm with. And our deal was to get something to eat and get back on the road and go back home. I'll never forget it, y'all. We stepped up in there. Everything seemed cool. The vibe seemed all right. Everybody vibing, everybody had a good time because it was some drag shows back at the place. So everybody really had a good time. The people that was doing drag really, really did look like the celebrities that they were doing the drag off of. Just a beautiful night. Walked in there, y'all. It was this man in there. He's looking around. And he kept looking, and we seen him looking around. We seen him looking around. We didn't know what he was looking around about. And finally, he just came through his dome with it. All these fucking fags up in here. Fucking punks. All these sissies. People was trying to be cool because, you know, didn't know where they came from. Didn't know what was going on. Didn't know what made you feel the way you feel regardless of what we are. We still here to order our food. Uh, Go back home. Whatever we gonna do. Whatever. People just kept sitting there. He couldn't let it go. All these internet fads up in here, all these sissies and all of this and that. Yo, when I tell you, place got lit. Everybody down there that was from that club banned on him and took his ass down. Beat him down. He didn't even get to see how no Harold's chicken tasted. He was done. They beat him down. He was in there by himself. But what can you say about that when somebody didn't earn their own stripes up in there? If you didn't like what was going on, why did we have to feel your wrath? Why couldn't you just order your chicken and went the hell on? Didn't nobody have to know how you felt? You caused that whooping up on yourself. Mind your business. And it just made me curious of it's mighty funny that you out here at 3 or 4 in the morning or whatever time Harold Chicken closed. Mighty funny you out here getting you some chicken. Don't you know this who out here this time of night? Don't you know the freaks come out at night? Why you out here? They just kind of got my brain to rattling. Is it something you want and don't know how to say it? While your wife waited on you to bring some hot chicken home? It was just strange. No, when I say they beat that man down, they beat that man down in Dayton. Harold's Chicken beat him down. And what was so strange about it, when he went to pick the fight, he didn't fight a man. He went to jump on a lady, a lesbian. But the lesbian was best friends with this gay guy, a cool dude named Boo. Boo jumped in, baby. It was curtains. That man couldn't do nothing with Boo. He said, you all in here wanting to fight a lady, to say somebody is this and that. You want to fight a lady? Fight a man. When Boo got on him, see, Boo is real loved and respected in Cincinnati. When Boo got to swinging, everybody got to swinging. It was so many people from Cincinnati that had traveled to Dayton because this club was lit, y'all. And that man got beat down. All because he couldn't order his chicken and keep his head straight. What do you care about who up in here and what's going on? Didn't you say you wanted a 6-piece extra crispy with green beans and mashed potatoes on the side and a large Coke to go? Ain't that what you said you was coming for? But somehow it turned into some commotion where the man ain't taste no chicken, ain't drink no Popeye, ain't no green beans, ain't nothing. Just walked out. I don't even know how he got up. Man was bloody. So what do y'all think about this? Should the baby, this is his livelihood. Like I said, this is freedom of speech. Is his freedom of speech being violated because he doesn't want to accept what's being thrown on him? Is he fighting, as other people say that I've been watching, is he fighting some sexual demons? Because where did they come from? Does he deserve to have his concerts taken away from him because Madonna is mad and Elton John is mad and people are starting to stand up? What is going on with this? Like I said, y'all, I'm gonna get off of here and listen to the baby right now. He got some jams. He got this one dirty song, y'all. It's so dirty, it's so mad. I'm going to listen to it. But, some people can take certain things. Some people he said that too, he didn't offend them. Some people he did, I don't know. Y'all drop a comment below and let me know what y'all think about this. Coolest father. Mwah.